I'm number 14 out of 19 children.
This is the Black Experience for all. Welcome to the MentorClass. I'm Adam P. Kennedy. In this episode, we're talking growing up in Arkansas as the daughter of sharecroppers with Janis Kearney, former diarist to the President of the United States, Bill Clinton. I really would like to talk about your parents and you growing up. They were sharecroppers. Can you talk about what a typical day was like for you as a young person?
Yes, there were typical days. They were different in the summer and winter. In the wintertime, we would go to school. Our days were getting up very, very early in time to catch the bus. There were several of us, up to maybe 8 or 9 or 10, that had to get ready for school. My mother would get up at 4 o'clock and start breakfast for all of us and start warming up water. We did not have an inside bathroom, so we had to use water, from the pump. We had an outside pump that we used to wash up. Everybody washed up. Everybody got dressed. Everybody came to breakfast, and then we were off to school. The bus would come and pick us up, and we would leave, and we'd be at school all day. Most times we didn't have lunch. When we could, we carried lunch. My mom would make sandwiches or whatever. But there were days, many days, when we did not have lunch and we did not have money. Never did we have money to purchase lunch. So we would spend the day at school, and then we'd come back, and usually we'd have chores to do once we got home, got out of our school clothes, and we would have our different chores outside, whether it was gathering eggs or doing something with the pigs, slopping the pigs, as they say, or the boys might have to work on a fence or something like that. In the fall, of course, there was cotton picking time. So we would sometimes have to go to the cotton field in the fall and help with picking cotton, helping my dad with that. Then we'd come home and eat, and then we'd do our work. We had to do our homework before we went to bed. And very often after our homework, if we had some time left, my dad would sit us all down and tell stories. And, I think I mentioned that that's where I fell in love with storytelling, because my dad told amazing stories. So that was kind of how it went during the school year. In the summer, we would get up very early, about the same time actually, and get ready to go to the cotton field. That was cotton chopping time. That's when my dad had planted the cotton, and we had to go out and de-weed it, kill the weeds, chop the weeds from around the cotton. And that was an all-day job. We were there all day. We would stop for lunch and come home and eat lunch. My mom would prepare lunch for us, and then we'd go back to the field and chop there until the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we came home, and, my mom had cooked dinner by that time, and we'd wash up and eat dinner. And that was kind of how our summers went. Of course, one of the things that we always looked forward to was that happened during the first half of the summer. And by the second half of the summer, my dad had done all of his chopping in his field. He let us be hired out. We went and worked for white farmers, and we would chop cotton for them, and we'd make $4 an hour. Not an hour, I'm sorry, $4 a day. And that was the first few years, it was $4 a day. I think it got up to $7 a day by the time I graduated from high school. But that money, half of it would go to our parents to help them, and the other half we would use to purchase our school clothing and our school supplies.
What was your earliest memory of that daily routine?
Oh, wow. It started very early. I was 7 years old. We all started chopping cotton at 7 years old. My dad would have these shorter hoes for his children. So we use those, when I hear someone sharpening a hoe or sharpening something, I remember those mornings. I'd wake up to my dad out in the backyard sharpening our hoes for us to use.
Your daily routine, how common was that for the other families around you and even the neighborhood children?
For most families, I don't think it was exactly like that. We probably worked a lot harder. There were more of us, and we were poorer than most people that we lived around. So I don't think that they had it quite like that. There were a couple of families that I think probably worked in that same vein.
When you look back on that time, how do you reflect on it?
It was hard. It was hard, and it was harsh, a harsh reality. Poverty is a harsh reality, and it was forced on us. I mean, because we lived in that day, a day of discrimination, of oppression, of segregation. It wouldn't have been like that had that not been the reality. So yeah, it was very harsh, but I'm just so grateful that I also have many, many wonderful memories about that time.
What was the order of the children in your family? Where were you situated?
I'm number 14 out of 19 children.
And your older brothers and sisters, when you got irritated and frustrated, what did they say to you?
Some of the same advice my parents gave us. I mean, work hard, do your best, be obedient. I mean, they were our second parents when my parents weren't around, so they would give us some of the same advice as my parents did. We were just always expected to be at our very best.
What was Sunday like? Was there church?
Sunday was church. Every Sunday. I don't remember ever having a Sunday off from church. My parents were very, very, very involved in our church. And my dad was, I think I may have mentioned that he was the Sunday school superintendent for over 60 years. My mom taught Sunday school, adult Sunday school, as long as I can remember. And they both taught Sunday school off and on from time to time. But my mom, I know, taught longer. She was teaching when she left us in 1982.
Thank you for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. This is the Black Experience for all.